here's the first set of trig identities you need to memorize. They're all on that orange sheet that has all the identities on it. This quiz is only covering the front side of the orange sheet. You need to memorize that front side of the orange sheet. There's a couple of different ways to think about them, but one of the first things I want you to just check is the Pythagorean identities box has all of the squareds in it. So you know right away that these two that have squareds in them are going to be coming out of that Pythagorean box. The others won't be coming out of the Pythagorean box. And one of the easiest ways to solve these guys is to look in the top box. If you look in the very top, it'll give you the definitions. And on our triangle that had the x, y, and r, secant is r over x. We're reciprocaling that thing, so rather than 1 over r over x, that's the same as x over r. You should recognize x over r as cosine. Alternatively, you might be able to go straight into the second box and recognize that the reciprocal of secant is cosine. Please memorize that one. The reciprocal of secant is cosine. Alright, next problem that's kind of like the same thing. You can solve it using your x, y, and r. The cotangent is x over y. The tangent is y over x. And if you multiply those two fractions, you get x times y over x times y. Everything cancels and it's 1. Which makes sense, again, because cotangent and tangent are reciprocals of each other. And when you multiply two reciprocals, you get an answer of 1. Now, we come to the stuff that's in the Pythagorean box. You should remember that sine squared plus cosine squared is 1. This looks pretty close to that, but it's not exactly that. In fact, I started it with a 1 and I've subtracted a cosine squared. Well, let's do that to both sides. And it looks like 1 minus cosine squared is going to be the same as sine squared. If this algebra makes sense to you, feel free to do it in algebra. If it's not making sense to you, make sure you give yourself a flashcard that on one side says 1 minus cosine squared, and on the other side has the answer of sine squared. Here's another one from the Pythagorean relationships. Cotangent squared theta plus 1 is cosecant squared theta. In these Pythagorean relationships, the co's go together. Cotangent goes with cosecant, and tangent goes with secant. That should help you remember that one. If you're having trouble, again, make some flashcards. This is a perfect set of the Mastery Quiz to give yourself some flashcards. Put the question on one side and put the answer on the other. Put the question on one side and put the answer on the other, and then go through those flashcards until you've got them all memorized. Keep practicing.